base, okay? Other than that, you just have to use more leg muscles than me because you're taller. So
What about because I'm bigger, though?
no, you
No?
can still
Okay.
engage the abdominal muscles, doesn't matter, okay? So you're just
Okay.
still trying to focus at pulling that tummy in. We can all do that, exactly. now you're tightening up those muscle groups that support your spine. You can do that. Your squat was the part that I was kind of more focusing on. So
Okay.
maintaining this alignment as you bend your knees.
Okay.
So as you engage it, engage your abs, and you bend to pick that object up, keep that base. Don't allow your knees to go towards each other.
Is that what they did?
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Let's give it another try.
Okay.
That was better.
Okay.
Okay, and then again, you engage those abs, and that's where you're getting most of your stability from. It's really the engagement of your abs, and then, being aware of the bending forward. But it's very important that you recruit that midsection. That's where you're getting a lot of your stability with movement of the spine. Yes?
One of the things your guy said was will not have good thought process. One of the things that helped me is when the lady said you want to think about corseting and supporting your spine. And so if you pull your, like he's talking about pulling your muscles in, then you think about those corsets how they circulate. You can kind of visualize that when you do it.
It's
And
perfect
that's not
analogy.
something
That's
that
perfect.
probably
No,
I
that's
would have thought
that's a
of.
perfect way of saying it, because that's what you're doing.
Mhm.
You're tightening that corset. You're giving your spine support with movement. Okay? As you bend, your pelvis rotates, changes happen in your spine. By tightening that corset, you're giving yourself more support. And then, and then again, that's what's most important. Keeping your base and all of these things are important. But if you don't do the corset thing, you still run that risk, even if you're using proper mechanics. So engaging that corset should be number one. Then going down the list, okay, engaging my corset, getting that nice base, educating my person I'm working with on how we're going to do this, which she's going to do next, and really facilitating their muscle strength. They need to utilize their muscles. If they can get up and walk or stand, they have enough strength to take that pressure off of you guys and do it. So you have to just really be educational with everything. Get the most out of those clients that you're working with, because that is what's saving you. And you guys, you're just as important as anyone else on the planet, and your health is just as important as anyone else on the planet, and your health should be number one. So if you're not getting what you're getting from them, take a step back. Even explain to them, look, I need your help. I'm at risk. You're at risk. If something happens to you while you're transferring, they're gonna go down, or you're gonna go down. So it's important on both parties to be in the game together. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So now we're going to utilize all of these cool tasks and work on transfer training.
So transfer training, we're going to add one more component to the base corset lifting strategy, and it has to do with the arms. So everybody from sitting, arms out in front. From right there with the reaching, go further. So you feel your shoulder blades let go. From right there, bring the shoulder blades back. This is where you have to transfer people from. If you don't, you get that awesome neck pain that nobody wants, and it never goes away because those people are freaking heavy. So whenever I think of what transfer I want to use for somebody, when I go to touch them, it's like, well, where do I have to put my hands to make it work? Because if I have to be here to get them, then the method that I'm using is not going to be effective. I'm going to hurt myself if you put your hands away. So even in lifting the box, that's why it sucks for you, sucks for anybody that's taller, because you have to bend your knees further, because even though you get that extra reach, you're still going to hurt yourself if you let your shoulder blades go. So now you can think about three things. So
You guys have gait belts with you? No one has a gait. Okay.
the
We'll have to show
goal
you
is
gait
to
belt.
kind of show you guys a couple of different methods of helping people out. We're going to start out with just helping them stand up. We're going to work to just a slide over, a full-on 90-degree transfer, and then the car transfer.
Do you need a chair for any of that? Can you transfer to a chair?
I will.
Yeah. Okay.
So everybody pretty much uses the gait belt. Okay.
Does everyone know how to properly put on a gait belt?
A little bit.
Okay,
Because
we'll talk about that,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I told
you
you.
have, like,
Okay.
One of
So-
my previous clients had a different type of gate belt.
The
It was-
clip?
Yeah, it was clip and it was a lot wider in the back
Okay.
and so it buckled and then there was also like some, probably 4 or 5 good nylon handles.
They do
on
make
it.
ones now with handles. They try to give those to people who are a little bit more dependent with it. And it is handy. The thing that I hate about every single belt ever invented is the idea is to stay kind of around the lower part of the rib cage. Nothing wants to stay there. We're not actually designed for anything to stay there. Everything wants to slip down. But you do your best.
And
Being
the
too
teeth
helpful.
face you,
I'm sorry?
the teeth on the, teeth that face you when you're.
So you go through the teeth first, and then you loop the extra through the loop.
So here's the teeth. Okay. Yep, so the belt goes through the teeth first. So the way she learned it in school recently was chew before you swallow.
Chew before you swallow.
So if you think of chew before you swallow, you know that the belt goes through the teeth first.
Pretty good.
Okay? And then as you put it around, then the teeth grip that belt. Okay? So chew before you swallow.
You're in the way.
Want to put it around my waist?
No, I just wanted to, sorry.
It's okay.
Perfect. Chew before you swallow. And then when it's on, it'll tighten up even more.
Okay.
Good job. Okay, don't forget, we're gonna have to do it again. There we go.
Okay, so the first transfer for just helping somebody stand up a little bit, it's nose over toes. They have to be able to shift their nose out as far as their toes and enable their muscles to lift their butt up. It's scary for a lot of older people because all they see is the floor coming at them rapidly. So that's where you get to come in, depending on which side you're more comfortable with, it doesn't matter. I'm right-handed, so I tend to come in here. My foot's on the outside, my knee comes on the inside. Now, if I try to pull her forward, she's not going anywhere. She can stand up from here. Go ahead, just stand up for me. And I'm not in her way. But at the same time, try to fall forward as you stand up. I'm not moving. I'm in a really good base, I'm wide, I'm tandemed, and she can't get through me. There's no way she's gonna win because she's just below my knee. It's not putting any pressure on me. I'm just hanging out. So if I wanted to help her from here, it's really easy. You're just gonna help me out, lean forward. On 3, we're gonna stand up together, okay? So we're 1. I'm helping just by bringing her this way. I'm never gonna pull up. It's all gonna be out. 2, 3. Ta-da. So it's always in this direction. Have a seat for me. There should never come a point where you actually lift anyone up. If they do need a little bit of extra help that way, you can be a little more in front and behind them, and you can give a little help with the tush. So if I'm here and I switch, if I'm here, the hand goes in the back. We're gonna rock forward, 2, 3, kind of stuck. You just pull it forward. Bringing the hip forward makes her pop right up. And you don't have to push very hard. If you have to do a lot of work, then it's not the best idea. So trying different ones, don't be afraid to be like, okay, this didn't work, let's try something different. It's okay to do that.
And
Question?
her feet come apart a little bit too?
What do you mean?
When you were
Getting up?
Yeah, standing. When you were
Getting
sitting
up
down,
from
your
the
feet,
start.
so your feet were
So-
together.
versus
If you
Yeah.
want to have them start out a little bit
Okay.
wider,
To
yeah,
improve their ability to stand up
Stability,
themselves.
yeah.
Like, just like a squat, you need to have some width so that they can use their own quads and whatnot to stand up.
Right, a little bit wider of a base to start out with, but even here, if I go to bring her up, all that happens is she gets away from me, but then fall down, sit. Her knee came in contact with mine, but all that happened was she hit right back in her seat. That's the farthest she's going to fall with me standing like that. Okay?
And it all starts with facilitation. Like she's telling her what she wants her to do. Okay, we're gonna rock. We're gonna do 3 rocking. At 3, utilize that leg strength and stand up. So you have to continue to talk to them to get what you want from them, so that you're not doing all the work. And lifting, what she just said about you should never be lifting the patient. You're going toward. They're coming to you, is key, because I've done transfers in school and out of school where I find myself using poor mechanics, where I'm lifting them out, and it actually throws their balance off by doing it. So it has to be fluent, and you have to really be, educational. Let them know what you expect them to do. Tell them this is what we're going to do. Use that method. Okay, here we go. On the 3rd rock, we're gonna stand up. Get them to use their strength. So there you go.
Okay. Sure.
So another thing too to remember is she's very experienced, and I was way back like this. But what you want to make sure is that they come forward and the feet are underneath them. Because if my feet are back here, I mean, Heather immediately, she can push my feet back, and she knows how to pull me right towards her. But as a student, these are things that I have to constantly remind myself to make it easier on my body mechanics. Make sure that your patient scoots all the way, as far as they can. Make sure that non-stick shoes are underneath them instead of out here. Those are things that are going to make it a little easier to get them.
Yes.
One of the things that helped us too, my client was out of the hospital, and we had to a lot of leg problems, and now he's completely ambulatory. One of the things that the home therapist was showing us is, you can touch, this is the muscle I want you to use. When you stand up, you're using this muscle, and that helps them to kind of know what they're doing. And if you don't really know, then you can do it yourself. Like when you stand, just put your arms there and just kind of feel what's going on in your own body, because those are the same muscles that they're trying to utilize to stand.
And then facilitating that, facilitating them using the muscle strength that they have.
And I still do that, even though you can get up and down. I'm like, whoa, 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 you're not, what are you doing there? You
Yeah.
need to use these guys and
Yeah.
stand up right and use your good posture.
Yes.
Right.
Foot position is important, like Mara was saying. If your individual that you're transferring and their feet are out that far, they're not getting up. They're going to fall back to where they are. So getting them to get their feet underneath them so that as you start that transfer, their base is on where it needs to be as you continue to progress them to a stand position.
And you'll catch it. If their feet are out and you try to get them to shift, you're just not going to go anywhere. So that's the chance to get a look and go, okay, what did I do here differently? Okay, those go in. So nothing horrible is going to happen if you forget, because there's so many different components to the lift that the only time it goes bad is what we're going to talk about later, is the fall prevention.
So Heather, if there was one specific style that you would kind of give as advise them to use mostly, what would that be?
I don't have one of those. That's why we're learning all the different ones.
Got it.
As you guys get to pick. I'm not going to give you one. You need to pick your own. My best advice for that is, if you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. Because like you said, if you go down, everybody's in trouble, and it's not worth it. And it's the same thing for fall prevention. You're not stopping them from falling. You're not going to catch anybody. Your job is to make sure everybody hits the deck as safely as possible. You're not stopping anything. And if you do, then you're Superman.
All right.
So for somebody who has does anybody have anybody who's just one side is really, really weak or has been really weak? So one side's pretty good, the other side's not so good, and you're a little nervous about it. If you're more nervous about it, it's a different transfer and you get a narrow base of support. So they are scooted out and you just don't trust this leg, they don't trust that leg, so you're going to hold on to it for them. With this, there's no going through me. The foot is not going to slide because they don't necessarily have the ability to hold that foot in place until their weight is shifted forward. So from here, it's the hand in front, the hand in back, and it's the same idea. We're rocking, but once again, all I'm doing is I'm just going to give her a little hug toward me, and we stand up together. I'm not lifting her, we're just standing up together.
You're not lifting her
Not at all.
So you're,
It's all her leg strength. Sit back down for me.
do most clients have? Yeah, they do.
Well,
Most
that's-
people
that's-
have one
That's
side
when
is
you're walking
kind of,
around,
what you
they have
want.
leg strength.
Okay.
yeah. But most of them do kind of have like, if you had to pick a side, which one's your weak side, and they usually know which one they just don't trust a whole lot. You hear them say it all the time. My right side gives out on me sometimes. Well, I really don't want that to happen while I'm transferring you,
Right.
helping you stand up kind of a thing.
And we're kind of assuming that you guys aren't working with like really